Salespeople are just, you know, that's something else, another type of human being. And IT people don't talk to you either. They just got their face in a computer screen all day, and they don't really communicate very well. But Angelos and his team were brilliant communicators, and what they did was Angelos introduced me to this guy who looked after the hardware, this guy that looked after the security, this guy looks after this guy, he's the office junior, he's got a master's degree in website software design. And this is true. Okay, the office junior's got a master's degree, and I'm going, I've never ever seen a team like this. Okay? And I said, well, you must have real security in what you're doing. Oh, we're working for the 7th richest man in Cyprus, and he's doing this online exhibition. I'm thinking, right, well, I don't like what you're doing, but you're doing a great job of it. And our contract comes to an end in 2 or 3 weeks. So you got no job after 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, right? And then I'm looking at this free thing that run 1 million people into it over 17 weeks. I'm looking at Google being free. I'm looking at several things. And then I literally got 4 things on a sheet of paper. And I put together a line from discount card loyalty schemes, cartoons, viral marketing, Google, okay, is free, eBay is free, and married them all together and said, well, how on earth are you going to do that? And then I thought, that guy you spoke to a couple of weeks ago in Cyprus, ring ring, I rang him up and I said, Angelos, how long will it take you? Okay, have you got another job first? No. Do you mind, do you think the guy you're working for would mind if we came and got your whole team? No? Right? I said, have you got Skype share screen? I said, what equipment have you got? He said, well, he bought the computer programmers that work for me, they've got monitors that look like this. Right? They're this high. And they read the coding from top to bottom because they've got special monitors so they could actually read the codes. And then I've seen whole walls of coding that these guys have put together. They build it custom made from scratch from the ground up. And I said, could you design this from scratch? How quickly? Because there's other people out there that have never actually got into the world and done this. The idea is fabulous, but nobody has actually married together a free version of it with a viral marketing technique, married it to product services search sites, married it to things that can compare prices, okay, and got a discount card loyalty scheme that can go anywhere in the world. So how can it go anywhere in the world? Because then I've been in business for a long time, and I've had a lot of businesses and opened a lot of offshore businesses, and people say, oh, why is Beep a BVI company? Okay, BVI, the very, very first meeting I had with Beep was with the offshore formations company, professional offshore formations company, who specialise in that type of business. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, David Cameron's entire family wealth came from offshore companies. Okay? And people think, oh, it's an offshore company, it's dodgy. Anyone that says that is talking out of their backside. Okay? Because the first thing you do with an offshore company is register it professionally and properly. Microsoft, Panama, okay? Google, Ireland. They go there for a reason, because that's where the IT companies go. All the gambling businesses, they tend to go to Gibraltar, and there are offshore jurisdictions where companies go to. The technological businesses tend to go to BVI, but that is not the reason we went to BVI. Because if I am hosting a website, I've got a business that hosts websites, and I am in California. Imagine that is my business. I'm in California, I host websites, and I sell it to you. You've all got websites. You're a butcher, you're a baker, you're a hairdresser, whatever you are, but you want a website. And I'm in California, and you are in Albania, you are in Russia, you are in Israel. Okay? I sell you my hosting in Albania, Russia, and Israel. I don't need permission to go into Israel or Albania or Russia, because I sell it to you off the internet, and I follow the laws of the internet. But my feet have got to touch the ground. So where are you going to put your feet on the ground? Okay? In an offshore jurisdiction where the government will never allow any other government to interfere with them from the outside. And those are the typical offshore jurisdictions. So the reason we went to BVI, nothing to do with tax, although I don't want to pay any more tax than the next person. Okay? But we do. The reason we went to BVI was so that is the best place to put an internet business's feet on the ground. Okay? And what that does for every single person in this room means that we can trade anywhere. Okay? Because it's free. And nobody comes to look at us because it's free. And somebody who was in business who built a very, very big business that I know, but he was always being accused that his business was a Ponzi scheme. Okay? Turned out years later that his business was a Ponzi scheme. Okay? But people were saying to him, why don't you put on the front of your website, okay, the reasons why you're not a Ponzi scheme? And his answer stayed with me for a long time. He said, here's why it isn't. And if we put it on the front page of the website, you've got people that work for governments, civil servants, and they're the same, okay? All over the world they're the same. They work for the government, so they don't have to perform. They don't have to hit target. Like a salespeople, we have to, if we don't sell, we don't eat, do we? Right? So we in sales are used to performance. When you work for a large government body, and I work for two of them, the Army and British Coal, okay? And I know the wastage that goes on in government bodies, because if you're sick, if you do your job, if you don't do your job, you still get paid the same amount of money, okay? So you've got a government official whose job it is to shut down businesses, okay? I had an acquaintance of mine who ran an arbitrage gambling business, okay? Completely legitimate, wonderful business. But the FSA in the United Kingdom, right? He's got a disabled son. He got off a train at Preston, okay? And waiting for him on the train station at Preston were 9 police officers and 3 FSA officers, right? I thought, if you were a member of the public, you'd have thought that man there is an international arms dealer or something, okay? And they arrested him on the spot. They took him off and they left his child on the train station, okay? He was disabled till 11 p.m. at night. They shut his business down, and what they've got is it's called suffocation policy. They shut you down and then they investigate you. They work for the government, so they'll just take the time, they'll make a cup of coffee, they'll go out for lunch, they'll look at the papers. 2 years later, no case to answer. Okay? No apology. 11 people lost their jobs. God knows how many other people. And you see, that tells you, it's like any body, not just government bodies, where somebody's got nothing to do. Okay? You don't, and they've got nothing to do and endless money to come after you. Isn't it stupid to upset them? Yes. So that man said to me, that's why I will never put that Ponzi scheme question on the front of his website, because it's a red rag to a bull. Every authority around the world will come and challenge him, because you've got somebody who works in the civil service who's sitting there and his boss is looking at him thinking, I think you're the next one for redundancy because I